Hi there, Andre here from Peak Motorcycles. I'm here at Motorcycle Live 2023 at the National Exhibition Centre in the UK. And I'm here at the Suzuki stand. Now, if you saw my EICMA coverage, I did do a video from the Suzuki stand, but it was very rushed. It was the last one I did of the week. It was my 39th video. And actually, as many of you have reminded me in the comments, I did miss some bikes. So there's a few bikes I just want to catch up on. So one is one over my shoulder, which is the GSX-S1000 GX sports tourer. The other one is this bike over my shoulder, which is the GSX-8R supersports. And then over on the other side, there is the V-Strom 800RE, the low seat version. So I'll give you a quick look at those three bikes only. I'm not going to do the whole stand. If you want to see the rest of the range, including things like the 25th anniversary Hayabusa, check out my video from EICMA. So first up, this is the V-Strom 800RE. Now it's fairly similar to the standard V-Strom, it's just got a lower seat. So this one actually doesn't have that many accessories on it. It's got the cast wheels. If I come up and show you from the back, just has a place for a rear rack mounting. It's got a one-piece seat that looks pretty low. Pillion pegs will take two people. It doesn't have a center stand, which I guess is maybe a load suspension thing. It does have the side stand. It's got the rubber inserts in the pegs. Coming up the side of the bike, yeah, it all looks very straightforward, not particularly complicated. And then from in here, you can see there's that TFT screen. It's got what isn't exactly an adjustable windscreen, but if you can see in there, it's actually quite high. And if you can see just where those sort of mounting lugs are in there, that you could actually loosen those bolts off and slide it up and down to set the height. It's got that new looking double headlamp at the front. Let's give you a look down this side. I think those are LED indicators. It's got that 800 block there. There's no bash protection or anything on this bike at the moment. And there's the preload adjuster for the back. Now what I'm going to do now is I am just going to go and sit on the bike. I know that for those who are shorter in the leg, this isn't a great example, but I'll show you what it's like for someone who's 6'1" with a 32-inch inside leg, just to see how low it is. Okay, now I know this angle isn't particularly useful to give you an idea of what it's like, but I'm sitting across the bike in a fairly sort of forward position, and my feet are dead flat on the ground, even with my knees slightly bent. You know, if you're the sort of person who is happy to ride on tiptoes, with one tiptoe even, I think you could have significantly shorter legs, maybe 28, 27 inch and be fine. Just to give you a quick look inside the cockpit from here, the ignition's not on, I'm afraid, so I can't show you what that's like. But yeah, it looks like that big old screen there, you know, there's quite a lot of protection. And you know what? This is like a lot of the Suzukis are, it's just a very well put together bike. I'm not sure if it's something that I have a space for in my garage or that I need, but having said that, for an 800cc bike, adventure bike, I think these are exceptional value. So this is the next bike I want to show you, which is the GSX-8R. So this is again an 800cc platform, but this time put into a supersports. So it's got a belly pan and then a sort of, it's not quite a full fairing, but it's almost a full fairing. You can see just how exposed that engine is on that side. Some nice little features like that peg hanger, looks quite nice. Double-sided swing arm coming around the back. It's got a big old tail tidy, which never really looks that attractive. In this case, that is enormous. That must be about a foot long, but I'm sure things will be available for that. It does still have a pillion seat. Just coming in, you look down this side of the bike. You can see in there. I'm sure this one is, I think this one actually has a quick shifter fitted. And coming up and over the dash, you know what, I mean, it's basic. I'll certainly say that for it. It's got blanking plugs in where the mirrors would have gone on the clutch side. Simple controls, you know, a little small screen that's in there. But yeah, I think that's quite a tidy bike. That's the colour, that's how it looks in the black. There's two other colourways here. So the one is blue, which is Suzuki blue, but somehow with that white lettering, it looks a little bit different to the GXs of the past. But nevertheless, it's got those quite attractive grey wheels. That one needs a bit of a dust. Yeah, just give you another look over that. It's the same as the one I've shown you in black, but you can see now that this one still has a black tank in gloss, and then the sort of Suzuki blue everywhere else. Other than that, this is very, very much the same. Those big twin discs, Nissan calipers at the front. And the last colourway, which I think is my favourite, looks a little bit katana-y. So this is the one with these red wheels, and then black and silver, and kind of a silvery coloured frame, as you can see in there. And then yeah, this sort of it's like a matte silver bodywork with that 8R written on the front. But yeah, I think that actually looks pretty mean. And it's got that double headlamp. It's very similar to what they have on the new V-Strom. So this is the last bike that I want to show you that I missed at EICMA, and this is the GSX-S1000 GX sports tourer. Now, I actually really like that. I think the GSX-S1000 is a great bike anyway, but this one, they've just made it taller and higher. So you can see it's got those GSX-X wheels, those gloss Brembo calipers at the front. A little bit of body work, but it's got things like these little Suzuki frame sliders on the side. Giving a look over the top of the bike. You know, just some nice little features like the Suzuki on the mirrors. The fit and finish on these bikes really is excellent, you know. Everything just looks, that nice matte black finish looks quite hard wearing. You can see a bit of gold in there. That is the semi-active suspension which is fitted to this bike. It has a centre stand, which is always useful on a sports tourer, and this one has the luggage all fitted. And I can just about give you a bit of a look around the back and then up and over the top. In particular, to have a look at this TFT dash. You can just about see the semi-active suspension in there. And then yeah, that big TFT dash looks really good. It's also available in 2 other colourways. So this is the one in the Suzuki blue. As you can see, it's got the blue wheels, can get a bit higher up and over this bike. And then you see it's got the bar risers in there, that semi-active suspension. The controls look pretty straightforward for a bike that has the TFT on it. And then if I come around the front, what else can we see here? Oh yeah, and again, it looks like the screen is adjustable, but it's, yeah, you just need to move these bolts up into different holes to make that work. And the last colour I want to show you is this GSX-S1000 GX in black and grey. So this one's actually got black Brembo calipers at the front. And actually I think I prefer this colourway of all of them for this bike. And again, it's got, you know, all the accessories on it. It's got the luggage at the back, as you can see in here. It's got a rear rack fitted. I'm sure that would take a top box. And then coming down this side, yeah, just really, really nicely finished bikes. You know, it's nice to see a more upright version of the GSX-S1000. What I might do actually is just have a quick sit on this to get an idea of seat height. Now, I know this probably isn't that helpful, but with me sitting on that, my feet are very much flat, with my knees slightly bent. That's with my heels on the ground. From the view from the cockpit, it's pretty nice as well. You know, it's a very, very upright position. I can see it's got the heated grips fitted here as well. Now on here, actually, this screen feels pretty low. I wonder if that screen is actually in the low position compared to the other 2 bikes they have here. It's also a slightly darkened screen there. But yeah, I can certainly imagine that if that screen went up a bit, that you'd get a fair bit of wind protection off it. And it's just a more comfortable riding position than on the outgoing GSX-S1000. So there we go, that is a very quick look at 3 bikes from Suzuki here at Motorcycle Live 2023. I hope that's been interesting and useful. If it has been, please check out my other content, maybe I'll see you there.